talked about not really being a Brock Purdy believer. He's proved me wrong, but guys, he's done it against teams that are far lesser defensively than the Cowboys. Here, he's going to have to face an elite pass rush. He's going to have to face a team that really forces you to beat them down the field. And I just don't think this matches up well for what Purdy is able to do. Not so much what the 49ers want to do, but what Purdy is capable of. I don't think Brock Purdy is going to throw it down the field and beat the Cowboys in that manner. So for that reason, I think the Cowboys are going to be right in this game. I came on a couple of different shows and said the Cowboys were my outside shot to win the NFC prior to the playoffs. I still think they have a chance, and I think this line suggests they have a chance as well. I know that this actually got knocked down to 3.5. I haven't bet it yet. I'm going to wait to see if it comes back to 4. But even at 4 or 3.5, I think the Cowboys are a really good bet in a game that I would say is pretty even based on a matchup standpoint. Guys, I still just don't buy Brock Purdy making it another round in the playoffs. I thought Seattle had a chance last week. They looked like they did for about 3/4 of that game. Here, I think the Cowboys have a real chance, and I really like them in this spot. So I'll be taking the points plus 3.5 with the Cowboys, and it's likely going to make my client card for Sunday.
Is this a situation? Because it sounds to me like the handicap you just gave was a testament to Dallas's defense and your thought that they can contain San Francisco. Would you look under in this game as well? Do you think that correlates with the Dallas side here, or are unders just too hard to bet in the NFL playoffs right now, given the fact that we've clearly seen the high-scoring nature of this postseason already, and I think the league likes it that way.
Yeah, well, Teddy, you made a great point. The league certainly prefers points, but at some point, kind of like the game I talked about last week on Wager Talk today, the Dolphins. I said if it got to 14, I would like the Dolphins. At some point, there's a price that you're willing to pay to go the other way, right? And at some point, these unders are gonna, or these totals, if you will, are gonna get to a point where you're just gonna have to take the under and hope it gets under because you're getting so much line value on the under. So I certainly would look toward the unders this weekend just to look for some regression back to the mean from a totals perspective. This one, profiles as a game that we should see less than, I would say, 40, mid 40s, which is where it's at. But for me here, it's Cowboys plus the points. I see this being a close, tightly contested game, which, lends itself to the under, but which also could mean that we get there either way with Cowboys plus 3.5. I could totally see the 49ers squeaking out a close win, but I could also see this being a matchup that's good enough for the Cowboys to get out with a W. I like the way Dak Prescott played. And I think that the Cowboys, they could also contain McCaffrey. I just think that this is going to be a good game, a close game, and one where I'm pretty comfortable taking the 3.5 with the Cowboys.